Hey, I am here in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, in the Three Rivers Wildlife Management Area. It is October 5th, October 6th, and in some parts of the world it's fall, but here it's like 88 degrees and muggy, and there are mosquitoes, and but whatever. It's beautiful. It's only a couple hours drive from Dallas, where I live. We wanted to get out into the woods, so I spent the night here last night. Beautiful, right next to a little river. It's hunting season, so I've got orange all over the place. I got my orange don't shoot me bandana, but it's been pretty chill and I've had a great time. So while I was here, one of the reasons I came out here was to shoot a couple of videos to show some gear that is new on my site that I've just come out with and that I haven't had a chance to really thoroughly review. So I wanted to share it with you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my saw axe sling. So this is, I just came out with this a few months ago, and it is, you know, obviously it's based off the Ray Mears model. That's a great design, so why, you know, fix what isn't broken? So it is a bag that's got, so it's 26 inches tall, and it has, it's 2 inches by 2 inches, maybe 2.5 inches, and it will accommodate, it is really meant to accommodate or meant for folding buck saws, like the type that Adventure Sworn makes, or like the type my friend Jody Funk also makes in Alberta, Canada. And it has a, so this sleeve on the outside is, I want to say it is 19 inches, and you might have seen the quick 30-second video I did on Instagram, but essentially this will fit almost any axe. I've gotten a little bit of feedback from folks saying some custom axes with flared out handles, like this one for example, are not fitting, and I'm going to go through some potential ways that you might be able to actually get that axe to fit, but I'm also in subsequent models probably going to leave a little bit more slack in this sleeve. But I can certainly tell you that the 9 or 10 axes in my collection, all the way from 16-inch hatchets all the way to this big boy, which is 24, maybe 26 inches long, fit great. So tons of options here. So I'll walk you through a few features. So again, this is based on the Ray Mears model. So the axe goes on the sleeve outside. And just real quick, this is a custom axe made for me by Tim Parcell and Parcell Artisan Works. He carved this handle, hand carved this handle, and then hung this head on here, I think restored. It's a great axe. It feels great. In fact, I told him when I got it, it's the best swinging axe I've ever felt. Super comfortable. So if you are looking for a custom axe, this is about the size of a boy's axe. I use this to bring down like a 18-inch, no, that's exaggerating, 12-inch dead standing oak tree while I was here, and it just, yeah, feels great swinging. So, so that's what I've got in here, and this has a pretty swelled out handle, almost like a baseball bat, and it works in here, but it takes a little bit of wiggling, and I'll show you kind of how to do that here in a minute. So the thing that I don't think that you have seen, certainly that I have not seen, is this zipper pouch. And this is a removable button-on zipper pouch. This is made of leather, and it is 9 inches long, and it is entirely the invention of, so I was first asked about making a case like this by Jody Funk, who I mentioned, jody.funk on Instagram, and he hand makes these beautiful, I know I'm jumping around, but he makes these beautiful handmade folding buck saws. I am really clumsy at assembling these, so I will not assemble it for you, but this is solid walnut. He also makes them, I believe, in ash and maybe hickory. So he had a canvas bag that he had made that he just kind of threw together, him and his mom actually, and he sent it to me, and it was actually, you know, pretty good, but it wasn't what he wanted. It just wasn't detailed enough. It didn't quite fit well enough, and so he asked if I could make one, and I said sure. And in fact, I said sure if you will trade me one of your beautiful buck saws. So he made this beautiful walnut bucksaw for me in exchange for this this bag. But one of the things that he asked about, one of the things that he had on the one that he made was, I need somewhere where I can keep the cordage and the little guy, the little toggle or shuttle or whatever you want to call it, that tensions the bucksaw. And so I really, sorry to those of you who like pockets inside of flaps. I know that I do that as a request for some of my packs, and but I didn't want to try to put a pocket inside this flap. I just thought it was a little bit too small and it was going to be kind of unwieldy, and I was kind of racking my brain on where to put a pouch or a pocket to carry your cordage and your toggle and whatever. So I just kind of came up with the idea, and again, I don't think I've seen this, so if somebody else has done this, credit to them, whoever they are. I would never be, there's nothing new under the sun really, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this, and so I thought it would be cool to have a pouch on the outside, but I also knew that I didn't want it to be something that was super bulky or that would get in the way, so I thought it'd be really kind of cool to have something that you could button on and pull off if you wanted to. So this is made of the same leather that's on the bag, and I'll talk about that in a second. It's 9 inches long, and it's just the perfect size for some cordage, so this is extra cordage. This is actually the cordage that Jody gave me for the saw, but I put different cordage on here. And this is the toggle that tensions the saw. Got a little piece of Velcro in here that I sometimes use to wrap the saw up. Sometimes I have my my DC4 sharpening stone, so you can put that in there. You could put a pocket knife, a Swiss Army knife, you know, a can opener, anything that would fit in, you know, like a 2 or 3 inch by 9 inch pouch. And it's also great because it's removable, so if you're not using the bag, or if you are and you want to leave this behind, you can. But then it buttons right on here. And these are, so these buttons, these are antique brass buttons that match the antique brass hardware because, you know, it's me. And these are from Buckle Guy, my favorite purveyor of things that are metal. And these are solid brass buttons. So these are also super high quality buttons. So it just buttons right on there, and then that stays with you. So they, just for aesthetics and a little bit for functionality, the back side of these is leather, and I don't know if everybody notices that from the pictures that I posted on Instagram, but the back panel is leather. In this particular case, this is Wicket and Craig 3/4 ounce English bridle leather. And the reason I did that was because, one, I just thought it looked really nice, and that's kind of my thing, but also because, you know, it occurred to me that this is the part that will be going against your back or, you know, on your shoulder, and, you know, that might end up getting, you know, sorry, it's really hot out here. You know, canvas is fine, but it'd be nicer if you had something that was smooth and it was a little bit tougher, because this is going to get some abrasion. So, yeah, so the back panel is leather, and then the straps are attached with 3/4 inch D-rings, and then solid brass. These are called swivel snaps. So these are actually removable. If for some reason you wanted to take that off, you can definitely do that, especially, you know, if you're not using this to carry around, because, you know, the primary advantage of this is that you can carry your cutting tools away from camp, so you can go buck your wood, bring it back, and not have to be carrying your tools, which, as we know, can be cumbersome and dangerous. But if you're just kind of housing stuff, which is what I did on this camping trip, because all my, you know, wood is really close to this campsite, you can take that handle off, and then it's not, or the strap off, and then it's not in your way. So it's really important to me that things are modular and adjustable. So if you don't want it, you can take it off. And of course, the strap is adjustable so that it fits across your body, but it also fits over your shoulder. You might notice some of these bags have this little tab here. You can certainly use it for hanging the bag if you want to, but just insider tip, what it's really for is just like my packs and just like the construction of any other kind of bag, you sew it inside out. And so, as you can imagine, this is inside out, and then I have to turn it right side out, which means I have to bring, you know, all of this, the buckle and the leather and all that stuff, I have to turn it inside out. And that's really hard. The first time I did it, I almost didn't think I was going to be able to do it. So what I do actually is before I turn this right side out, I attach a piece of paracord to this, bring it through the inside of the pouch so that as I start to then turn this inside out, I can pull on that cordage and it helps bring the bag kind of back through itself. So anyway, that's what that's for, but also if you want to hang it or whatever, you can do that. Just like everything else that I do, I think I have a pretty good record of being kind of nuts about rough edges. So all the edges are bound. So the top edges, the edges of the sleeve, and the edges of the lid are bound in polypropylene webbing, which is snag resistant, it's weather resistant, water resistant, it doesn't stretch, it won't rot. So it's just a great choice for binding, and also of course looks cool, at least I think so. And it is also bound on the inside. So the seams are also bound all the way down on the inside. So that will just ensure that there's no fraying, that the canvas doesn't start to unravel on you, because that drives me crazy. So let's talk about those of you who may be having trouble getting some of your bigger axes in here. And I have heard this also with slipping things into the side pockets on my packs, the ones that are behind the side pouches. And I guess what I would say, and maybe this sounds obvious, and if you know this already and you're still having trouble, then I get it, and I'll try to make a little bit more room for you, but it matters what order you put things in. So if you've got a big axe, because you imagine this is 2 inches by 2 inches, and so this saw fits, you know, with some room to spare, but when you try to get a large axe through there, I mean, it can be done. I've done it. But it's kind of a pain in the neck, and especially if you have the pouch attached to it. So if you just instead put the axe in first, because most of the handle of the axe is flat, so once you get the big round edge through there, then put your saw into the bag. And that should help you out. Now, sometimes that's not convenient, and sometimes you just want the saw and not the axe, or sometimes you want the axe and not the saw, so I get that. So again, in later iterations of these, I will probably actually make this sleeve with a little bit more slack, so it puffs out a little bit more. But I don't want to go too far, because I don't want to round the contour so that it's hard to get the pouch on here, or that the axe is not snug. But anyway, so that's just a little bit of advice in case you're having trouble with that. So then again, based on the Ray Mears design, it's just the flap holds the axe in place, and that is that. Journeyman Handcraft makes a version of this too that's really nice over in the UK. I think he's in the UK. So again, you know, credit where credit is due. I'm not the only one making these, but I think it's got some unique features. It's got some distinctive features, which is certainly something I always try to do. It's kind of a meandering maker trademark. I really like this bag. It is really popular. I've taken a lot of orders for these, and I've gotten, from the people who have them so far, I've gotten great feedback. So again, this will fit Jody Funk buck saws, Adventure Sworn buck saws. I am not sure yet if this will fit the Agua Canyon Boreal 21. I'm pretty sure it will, but I don't have one. I have several other saws, so I'm going to pick one up and make sure it certainly will fit from a length perspective, because I think they're 24 inches long folded up. But I want to make sure that the handle is not too big, but it should fit. Somebody had asked if this was big enough to accommodate a 9-inch backhoe folding saw, and the answer is no, because they're about 10 or 11 inches. But one gentleman requested me that I make a slightly larger one of these to accommodate that, so I'm going to do that for him. So I'm not going to do all of these a custom size, but if there's something specific you want to try to put in here, then let me know. But otherwise, it's really just great for you know, the cordage, a little bit of sharpening stuff, and the things you need to work with this saw. So the Meandering Maker Saw Axe Sling. This is available on my website. Currently, it's $145 US. It is available in all the same options that Meandering Maker gear are in. So this is field green wax canvas. It's also available in sage tan, which is what this possibles pouch is in. It is available in a relatively new color to my lineup that is probably going to replace the brown I've been using. And this is sort of a medium brown, a rich brown. So that's an option, or the chocolate leather like you see on here. So you can do any combination of those, just like on the rest of my gear. And the hardware, the buckles and the snaps and the D-rings, you also have the option to do antique brass or natural brass. So lots of options, mix it up. But this is a great piece of kit. I gotta tell you, this is one of my absolute favorites and people really like it, so that's great. So if you're interested in getting one, head over to my website, meanderingmakeroutdoor.com, or find me on Instagram as meanderingmaker, and of course here on YouTube. So if you're digging it, then comment, like, subscribe, and share. And if you have questions, again, you can reach out to me on Instagram, and I'm pretty quick to respond. So yeah, check it out. If you don't have one, you should definitely get one. Meandering Maker Saw Axe Sling. Thanks for watching.